So hi, my name's David, and this is my wife Natalie.
Hi.
And we want to have a conversation with you today about why you shouldn't be using plastic bags.
I mean, this is all around the news and everything. It's not news to you, I'm sure. But why we wanted to have this conversation with you is because with everyone else telling you you should do something, it's really hard to remember. But when you have a personal connection with why you're doing it, then it makes it really easy to remember.
And, you know, for myself, I guess, why I wasn't using plastic bags initially is because I knew my wife didn't like me using plastic bags. Then we got involved in this project because she invented a reusable shopping bag, which we turned into a reusable shopping bag system. And I started to get involved in researching why we shouldn't be using plastic bags. And as soon as I understood why, the kind of damage that the plastic bags were causing in the environment, it has been so easy for me to never forget to take a reusable shopping bag with me. We want you to connect with the horrors of what plastic bags are doing in our ocean, how they're killing wildlife in our ocean, and some of that endangered species, and also there's some even more dire problems that plastic bags are causing, but we'll go on to that a little bit later. Nat, you invented this, so what was it that motivated you to get involved in a solution for plastic?
Yeah, well, I must admit I've found out a lot more since we've embarked on this project, but initially I knew that there were a lot of animals just dying because of plastic bags. Particularly in the marine environment, because when they're floating in the water...
Plastic bags, that is.
Well, plastic bags, of course. To a lot of animals, they really resemble other things that are their food, like jellyfish or squid. So naturally they eat them, and then, well, they're not food. They're plastic. They're indigestible. They either choke them or they get into their bellies and just clog up their digestive systems. Or horrifically, what's happening to some birds is, and probably other animals too, is that they get so much plastic in them that they have no room left for real food and they starve.
And we've got some photos on our website. That's www.positivelygreen.com.au/why, which is our why page, where we present a lot of this information we're just giving you an overview of today. So go to that page and you'll see photos. For example, there's one photo there of the insides of a Bridie's whale that washed up on the north coast of Australia in Queensland. They did an autopsy on the whale after they couldn't get it back out to sea, and it had 6.5 square metres of plastic bag in its stomach. And you know, that could well have been why that whale actually died. The real terrible thing about plastic is that it doesn't break down. It lasts 1,000 years, scientists are saying, in the environment before it will degrade. So let me tell you a little bit more about that so you understand how that happens. Plastic bags don't biodegrade, they photodegrade. So, for instance, first they'll stay as a plastic bag for, say, maybe 20 years floating around. That's when the whales and other things are eating them. Then they'll break down into smaller and smaller pieces. These pieces last in the environment for about 1,000 years. Now, they float in the ocean and they take the same space that plankton takes in the ocean. And there's this incredible research that's being done by the Algeta Marine Research Foundation, and you'll find their link on our website, and you'll find this incredible video that they shot. And what they do is they troll the ocean with fine mesh, and they're gathering samples to find out how much plastic particles there is in the ocean versus plankton. And the really frightening thing is that in the North Pacific Gyre, which is an area where a lot of the currents meet, there's on average 6 times more plastic particles in the water than there is plankton. They've actually found some samples where it's up to 1,000 times more plastic in the water than plankton. So when you think about the fact that we've only been making plastics for about 60 years, and plastic bags sort of in the supermarkets, and they're about 42% of the waste that's in the ocean, is plastic packaging, like plastic bags and so forth. These have only really been for about 30 or 40 years. So in just that small amount of time, we've got plastic particles that are outnumbering plankton. It's really, really freaky.
Yeah.
And if we don't stop doing that, when you think it's only been 30 or 40 years, I mean, what's it going to be in 50 years from now, particularly when the big economies, the developing economies in India and Asia come online and they start to use more plastics in the same ignorant, irresponsible way that we have.
Well, won't be as quite as irresponsible and ignorant, but even so.
But if they did,
yeah.
we just end up with this suffocating layer of plastic particles in the ocean, taking up all the area where plankton is and affecting the base of the food chain.
Exactly. And it's already getting into the food chain. I mean, that's really what we're saying. And there's no way we can actually separate ourselves from the impacts that the plastic is having, because the plastic, another side to the issue is that plastic is quite toxic. It attracts other toxic synthetic chemicals that are in the ocean, but it gets attracted to plastic. So when there's a bit of plastic there, it just becomes this little toxic pellet.
It just bonds with it.
And so then when there's an animal that feeds on it, that enters the food chain.
And a lot of animals are feeding on it because they're mistaking the plastic particles for plankton. And there's some, again, on our Y page on our website, www.positivelygreen.com/Y, there's a link there to research that's been done by Japanese scientists. It's been published in, I think it's the Environmental Science Journal, where they talk about the chemicals. There's a DDE, there's a few of them. I think I've got a couple of them written down here. PCBs, DDEs, and what they call nonylphenols. These are all highly toxic, and we've put them in the ocean, but they're just attracted to the plastic. So, look, I guess that gives you guys... There's more that
we could say, but really...
We don't want to bore you. Go to our website, www.positivelygreen.com.au/Y. Spend a few minutes. In 5 minutes, you will know more about this issue than most people in the world do. And when you do know that, I'm telling you, it's going to be so easy for you to never use a plastic bag again. And I guess that's what we want to get across now. We have a solution to that problem, which is our Positively Green shopping bag system. But we don't care whether
whatever solution you use, cool.
Use our system or someone else's. Just connect with this issue and have some care for the earth, have some care for yourself, and have some care for the next generations, because if we don't do something about this, it's going to be an awful mess.
And tell your friends.
Yeah, and tell your friends about this video and this page on our website, because it's really easy. We've done all the research for you, and in 5 minutes you'll know it all. Okay. Thanks a lot. Ciao.